The story of Ishmael is significant in Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, though it is understood and emphasized differently in each tradition. Below is an overview of how each tradition views Ishmael. In Judaism, in the Hebrew Bible, specifically in the book of Genesis, Ishmael is the son of Abraham and Hagar, Sarah's Egyptian maidservant. According to the narrative, Sarah was initially barren, so she gave Hagar to Abraham to bear a child. Ishmael was born as a result of this union, but when Sarah later gave birth to Isaac, the child promised by God, tensions arose between Sarah and Hagar. Sarah, fearing that Ishmael would threaten Isaac's inheritance, urged Abraham to send Hagar and Ishmael away. God reassured Abraham, promising that Ishmael would become the father of a great nation. Ishmael and Hagar were then sent into the desert, where God provided for them. The Jewish tradition sees Ishmael as the ancestor of various Arab tribes, and while his story is significant, the primary covenant with God is through Isaac, not Ishmael. In Christianity, the story of Ishmael is largely derived from the same biblical account in the book of Genesis, but it is understood in the context of Christian theology. Ishmael is seen as a figure representing human efforts to fulfill God's promises through means other than divine will, as Abraham and Sarah's decision to use Hagar was seen as a lack of faith in God's timing. In the New Testament, Ishmael is mentioned in Galatians 4, where Paul contrasts Ishmael with Isaac, using them as symbols of the two covenants. Isaac represents the covenant of grace, while Ishmael represents the old covenant based on the law. In this context, Ishmael is used as a symbolic figure representing bondage and legalism, while Isaac represents freedom and the promise of salvation through Jesus Christ. In Islam, Ishmael, known as Ismail in Arabic, holds an extremely important and revered place. He is considered a prophet and a direct ancestor of the Prophet Muhammad. The Quran mentions his birth to Abraham, Ibrahim, and Hagar, Hajra, in several places, emphasizing his role in the lineage of prophets. Muslims believe that Ishmael, along with his father Abraham, helped build the Kaaba in Mecca, which is considered the most sacred site in Islam. Ishmael's story also plays a key role in the Islamic understanding of the sacrifice. In Islam, it is believed that Abraham was commanded by God to sacrifice his son, and although the Quran does not explicitly name the son, Islamic tradition holds that it was Ishmael, not Isaac, who was the intended sacrifice. However, God intervened, providing a ram to be sacrificed in Ishmael's place. Ishmael is viewed as a patriarch of the Arab people, and his story is central to Islamic teachings, particularly regarding faith in God's commands, submission to his will, and the importance of Mecca and the Kaaba in Muslim tradition. Summary: Judaism, Ishmael is seen as the son of Abraham and Hagar, and while he is the ancestor of many Arab peoples, the covenant of God is with Isaac and his descendants. Christianity, Ishmael is often viewed as a symbolic figure representing the Old Covenant and human efforts to fulfill God's promises outside of divine will, in contrast to Isaac, who represents the New Covenant through grace. Islam, Ishmael is considered a prophet, a patriarch of the Arab people, and an important figure in the story of Abraham's obedience to God. His legacy is intertwined with the origins of the Kaaba in Mecca and the Islamic faith. In each tradition, Ishmael's story contributes to broader theological themes of faith, obedience, and God's plan for humanity, though the emphasis and interpretation vary.